Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Long time no see. Sorry I look like a mess. My life is just a mess. And excuse like the mess in the background too as well. So this video is going to be kind of how I found out I was pregnant, with a combination of how I went about telling people. So we'll start with how I found out. So back around Thanksgiving time, I was actively seeing someone. We weren't like an actual couple, but we were like talking and like working towards that. We weren't really sure what our plan was, but we were both only talking to each other and all that good stuff. Well, we ended up, you know, doing the deed, and I just had this really bad feeling afterwards. I don't know, I just like mentally freaked out afterwards because I was like, I don't know, it was off. And I downloaded one of those like period tracking apps, which I don't actively track my period ever, and we did it on like what was supposedly my most fertile day according to that app. Sorry, I keep touching my hair. Which freaked me out even more, and I was just like freaked out. But then I kind of put it aside and like continued seeing him. We continued. Look how swollen my hands are. Oh my god. But continued doing our thing and just, you know, and then like a month later, I didn't get my period. And me and my friends, we always made jokes. We were like, oh, you didn't get your period, you're pregnant, like, ha ha ha. And like, we were at the end of our training, like the last course that we were doing, or the last test, like, activity thing, and we were making jokes like that, and it was right before we were leaving for Christmas, and I felt really like I didn't feel well. I was nauseous all the time, could not eat, like going to the DFAC made me sick. I was not having a good time, and there was several times in the course that I felt like I needed to go to the bathroom to throw up. Like, I was struggling. I think I threw up once in that period, but I ended up, so the day we were leaving, I met him and his dad for dinner, and I wasn't feeling 100%. I just, I don't know, like I said, I had been off, so I wasn't feeling 100%, and for some reason on the way home, I was like, I'm gonna get a pregnancy test, and I'm gonna take one tonight because my body just doesn't feel right. So I bought a pregnancy test on my way home from that, and when I got back to my dorm, I took it, and it came out positive. Okay, so I was on the phone with my mom because we were finalizing things and everything, because I was supposed to fly out the next morning, and I was like, Mom, I need to call Panch. Panch is having an issue. So I called my friend and told her, and she was the first person I told. And I was like, do I tell bloody blah blah blah? Oh no. Do I tell bloody blah blah? This is Kova. This is Kova. Do I tell him? And she was like, take another test. And I was like, oh my god, I don't want to take another test. So I didn't end up taking, good girl. I didn't end up taking another test. But the next morning on the way to the airport, and I'm pretty sure he had already made it home. I texted him and I told him, ew, that's gross. I texted him and I told him that I had something I needed to tell him. It was kind of going to change everything, and it definitely did change everything. We're no longer talking. He says he wants to be involved, but he doesn't want to be involved, you know, types of things like that. That's for another video. But I texted him and I was like, I have something I need to tell you that's going to change everything, and I don't really want to tell you yet, but I feel like I need to. And like, I didn't like procrastinate on telling him, and I told him, and his reaction was like, oh, I'll be there through everything, like blah 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 blah. And then the whole entire time he was home, I know he was home, he wasn't answering me. And like, if I wanted to get an abortion or something like that, I wanted to do it while I was home, you know. So he wasn't answering me on what he wanted to do, so I started making decisions myself. He ended things completely, because I went a little crazy over everything, because he wasn't responding and he wasn't having a say or anything to do with it, and that was bothering me. I messaged my friend Mario and told him, and he was like, well, what do you want to do? And he kind of helped me decide, because Paige was like, we're having a baby, like it was already decided, and Mario kind of like talked it out with me, you know. So then so I kept this secret pretty much the whole entire time I was home. I wasn't very, like, I didn't, like, tell my mom straight away or anything, but I knew that I needed to tell her before I left, because it's better to tell in person. And me and her, we were leaving my grandma's the last day that I was going to be there, the last night. And I just, like, I don't know. I finally got the courage, and I was like, Mom, like, wait, I need to tell you something. And she was like, okay. And I was like, I'm pregnant. And she was just surprised. Like, she didn't see that coming. And she's been super supportive. And then the way the rest of the people got told was my mom just has a big mouth. And she just kept telling people, and it worked really well for me, because I'm more of like a kept to myself type of person, but this is obviously something you can't really keep to yourself, and people are gonna find out. So her telling other people, I didn't get mad at her for it or anything like that, just because I knew I was gonna have a hard time telling them myself, even though it should have been a little bit easier. So that's kind of my story on how I found out, and the events that followed, and who I told first, and all of that good stuff. So I'll see you guys all in my next video, and thank you for watching.